I'm Andrew Schlussel. I'm the director of the Animation and Visual Effects program at Expression College.
My name is Terry Dodonna, and I'm a character animator.
If you've seen films like Toy Story or Shrek, they're using software similar to software like Maya to achieve the results they do. So if you see a character there moving around, there's a lot of steps to get there, and a 3D package like Maya can and often does do a lot of those steps. The beginning point is 3D modeling, and 3D modeling is really sculpture on a computer. The next step is texturing that character. So that's basically painting the colors and the texture on the surface to make it look like different materials. From there, there's rigging, and rigging is, by default, if you build a character, it's just a hollow shell. And if you want it to move, you need to put a skeleton in it to have joints that bend. From there, there's animation, which is probably, I think, what a lot of people associate this software with, which is, of course, making objects move, but more than that, it's bringing things to life, breathing personality and thoughts and feelings into these characters that you're making. Finally, there's lighting and shading, and that's more than just texturing, which is really getting the colors on the surface. Lighting and shading is putting the lights in the scene, the shadows, how the objects are reacting to light, whether they're reflective or matte, and many other properties. And then finally, rendering, which is taking kind of the rough preview version you see while you're working on the file and turning it into a polished, finished image that you'll see on the screen or in print. I think the idea that you could create anything that you could think of was what really attracted me. So it's sort of the infinite possibility of 3D.
I mean, I was one of those kids who got interested in animation early on, and the first time I saw something animated, there was this special side class. I must have been like 3rd grade or something, and they were doing, like, making little Smurf characters move around, and I remember that moment of just being in awe, and I was like, I want to do that. I worked on Ice Age 2, I worked on Happy Feet in Sydney, Australia, and I worked at Electronic Arts. Let's see, the most important part of working with a 3D program is having, I'd say, traditional foundation skills. Most likely you're going to get jobs where you've never used the software before. For example, when I went to work at Electronic Arts, they were using 3D Studio Max, and I had never used it before. And the art part is the hard part to teach. You can't just snap your fingers and turn somebody into an artist in 2 weeks.
A degree is a stamp of approval. It shows that you can start something and finish it. It shows you can follow through. And it's something on your resume that's real, that's solid, that's verifiable. That said, if you're a dynamo and you can learn this stuff on your own and your reel is amazing, I don't think that not having a degree is necessarily going to hold you back. Networking is really important. Networking certainly begins at school, but it definitely doesn't end there.
There might be 1 or 2 occasions in that whole time where I got a job without somehow knowing somebody involved in the project. I think the thing that oftentimes people don't quite understand in their school career is that they are forming the network while they're in school, and their careers are happening already.
So what I would say is that first you have to love it, and since you love it, never let go of what first got you into this. You know, whatever it was that sucked you in, you've got to hold on to that, because in those long hours and hard deadlines, you need some light at the end of the tunnel of the reason you're doing this in the first place. And on that note, what I would advise you to do is really delve into all the different areas, from modeling, texturing, lighting, animation, compositing, rendering, everything, and find something that you love and go for that. Even if it doesn't seem like the most easy one, even if your first efforts aren't the best, you should become skilled in everything, but you should become great at something. And I think if you stick with what you love, you will become successful eventually.